When Edward I, often referred to as Edward Longshanks, succeeded his father, King Henry III, in 1272, the Welsh revolted hard. After squashing the Welsh wars in the 1280s, Edward had castles constructed and dotted across the North Welsh countryside. This is one such castle, Conway Castle. This massive medieval fortress is incredibly impressive. Strategically placed on the harbour near the mouth of the River Conway, with the peaks of Snowdonia in the far distance, this behemoth of a structure makes it hard to believe that the castle was constructed in 4 short years, at a cost of £15,000 between the years 1283 and 1287. Conway's primary function was to enable Edward to stake his claim on the territory, and considering the massive castle before us, he spared no expense. 8 mighty towers providing stunning views and the tactical advantages that come with it, complete with residential rooms, servant passageways that enabled servants to remain unseen and attend their duties, and an abbey for religious fulfilment. Conway isn't just a castle, however. It has 1.3 kilometres of walls, complete with over 20 more towers that extend from it and surround the town itself. Whilst in modern times, the town has spilled beyond said walls, and they still stand and make an impression on any visitor. This was far from Edward's pride and joy, however, as sources suggest he only stayed at Conway once, albeit being trapped by yet another Welsh rebellion in the waning months of 1294. Supposedly, Edward would spend his Christmas trapped here with a solitary barrel of wine. Anybody else of a less wealthy living would be quite content with such a predicament. I know I would, but sadly, Edward was quite miserable. Edward's wife, Eleanor of Castile, would only ever get the opportunity to visit Conway whilst it was under construction, dying in 1290. Despite the status, it pushes the reminder that Edward had occupied Wales, and this land was now his. Conway was far from unique with regards to this purpose. There were many other castles dotted around the countryside of North Wales, such as Carnarvon Castle, only about 20 miles southwest, which would see the birth of Edward's son. Edward I wanted to give Wales a Welsh prince. Not out of courtesy or respect, mind you, but rather to further consolidate his claims to the region. Edward II would visit Conway Castle in 1301, prior to his reign for a couple of months, and to receive homage as the Prince of Wales, before becoming King of England a few years later, coronated in early 1308. The residential aspect to Conway would hardly see use over the centuries. King Richard II would utilise Conway as a meeting site for negotiations regarding his abdication in 1399. Besides these events, the royal apartments were not in use. The rooms would see renovation by the 17th century, although due to the English Civil War, the royal chambers never saw use again. In 1401, Conway was the backdrop for a fascinating piece of local history. I'm going to mince this. During the rebellion of Owen Glyndwr, his cousins Rhys and Gwilym carried out a planned attack on the castle, sneaking inside disguised as carpenters, killing the guards and seizing control of the fortress and holding it thereafter for 3 months, before being pushed out by force under the instruction of King Henry IV. By the early 17th century, Conway Castle had fallen into disrepair, being sold by King Charles I to a man named Edward Conway at a fee of £100 in the 1620s. During the English Civil War, Conway was used as a royal stronghold, before falling to Parliament in 1646. By 1655, it was ordered to be slighted and damaged to prevent its inclusion in military operations, disrupting repairs until the restoration of the crown in 1660, with King Charles II, who returned the castle to Edward Conway's son, Edward Conway. In the 1840s, a railway line was constructed to pass Conway by Robert Stevenson, William Fairbairn and Eaton Hodgkinson. Heading through one of the walls, this disruption to the historic castle was allowed, providing any modifications to enable a railway to pass through were sympathetic to the style of the castle, even going so far as to the bridge on the eastern side of Conway Castle being obscured by a tunnel in the style of the castle itself, to render the passing trains invisible and to make the bridge look part of the fortress itself, a far more impressive structure than the initially intended ordinary railway bridge.
Trials and tribulations of trying to train spot from the castle.
Today, Conway Castle stands as a tourist attraction, attracting a large number of people on a daily basis who explore the castle's many different chambers and also enjoy a walk along the castle walls. This is very nice. I enjoyed. Recently, the tower's spiral staircases have been restored, allowing visitors to climb to the top of each of the 8 towers.
Christ!
And to take in the breathtaking views of Conway Bay. From these towers you can see as far as Anglesey to the west and the Great Orme to the north. I took some time to visit the Orme and enjoyed a neat tram ride because of course, why not, it's Jones. And this may have derailed my anniversary weekend to get this video done for decades, and my partner was very thrilled by this. Sorry Natalie, history comes first. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video about someone wanting to stake their claim on a piece of land that didn't really belong to him in the first place. If you like this video, like, subscribe and share with a friend, either just by general conversation, or you could pin him down, pour hot tar all over his body so he cannot move, and super glue an iPad to his face so you may watch every single second of what Decades has to offer. See you in the next one. Goodbye.
Caution. Morons. Whoops.